What up, Chicken Fam? Hey, guys, I have a wonderful video today that I want to share with you. This is related to the chicken closing of the loop, and it is exciting. I've been listening to the pregame Bach, and then listened to the Bach last night. And man, anytime I listen to Laverdude and Clint, Unholy, those guys just get me, they get me running with FOMO. So really excited though to talk about the closing of the loop. You know, we have other videos on my timeline and YouTube about foraging, about crafting these NFTs. And then now we are at the point where we are now minting those NFTs, bringing those guys on off chain. And then we can equip those to our farmland and to our chicken and make them more efficient and more effective for foraging more resources so that we're able to continue to craft more items. And here's the crazy thing. This is the crazy thing. This is what I'm probably most stoked about right now is once we have foraged for these resources, once we have minted those resources, now we're able to go over and sell those on the chicken marketplace. This is crazy. Like literally, this is crazy. Like this is something that I think initially when I got into chicken, I didn't have any concept of. And then I just read the roadmap and listened to a couple of, podcasts and got a better understanding of foraging and the purpose and the opportunity and the futures all through foraging. So I'm excited because, you know, this rolled out now about 2 days ago, and you can see there are a number of items on the marketplace. So I'm going to talk a little bit about the process of how to do this and show you that. But for those of you who don't know much about foraging or about crafting, you know, I have other videos where I've kind of broken down what that is, how to do it. But essentially, if you own a chicken or a rooster in a farmland, you send them out, you let them go gather resources, foraging. They come back with those resources, you craft them together. Right. And that recipe, if you will, is because you have the blueprint, and the blueprint's found under your farmland in your worm farm. And that blueprint gives you the recipe to craft the item. If you have all of those resources, you can then create that particular craft or create that NFT. And then that's the ones that you see right here that can be sold on the marketplace, or you can use these to make your farmland or your birds more efficient. For example, this one here, the farmer's straw hat, will turn a blank head into a 2.5% veg trait, right? So, you know, you might need more veg. Well, you might not necessarily have the means of coming with all that veg, but if you get this, equip it to your farmland or to your chicken or rooster, it gives them the ability to produce more veg for you, and that's just super cool. I mean, it's actually crazy. It's really crazy to look at the opportunities that exist within chicken. Just started all by sending out chicken and roosters to forage and come back with resources. So why are these resources important? Because the future of chicken is in foraging, is in crafting NFTs. It's play to own is the terminology that the devs have dropped. Play to own. We're creating NFTs. We're creating in-game assets that other players will eventually need to equip their farmland or their chicken to do the same thing, to accommodate more releases, more Ignite partnerships, and things of that nature. So it's pretty crazy, pretty exciting. But let's go to the videotape, as Warner Wolf used to say. So go to farmland. We're going to go to foraging. I got my coffee. I haven't even had, this is the first sip too. Good stuff. Good coffee. So you can see birdies are out doing some foraging. They're pulling in all these resources over here. Once they get the resources, I'm going to come over to the craft tab that's in my foraging section of my chicken farmland, craft tab. I got sips and I got equips, right? So equips. So I'm going to craft and equip, right? Once I craft that equipped, I'm going to craft it. Once I craft it, it will now show up in my inventory. Let's go over to inventory, click on equips. Now you will see it will show up here. Okay. So it's here, and this is all off chain. I need to get this to the point to where I can sell it, right? So it's here. So I'm going to go back to my craft tab. I'm going to click on the equips, and then I'm going to come up here and click on mint. And then I'm going to go down here and find the item that I want to mint. Peaceful sculpture. Let's drag it over here. Drag and drop here to mint, it says. It tells you how much you need. You need 12 egg and 250 worm. So it's now minting that NFT so that I can take it to the marketplace and sell it. And if I don't want to wait the 4 hours and 59 minutes, I can skip the cooldown. It's going to cost me 250 worm. So let's skip the cooldown. And you can see now it's gone. So that peaceful sculpture is now being moved over into my wallet under the item. And if we go down, we have a peaceful sculpture right there that's showing that it's not for sale because I just moved it over, minted and moved it over on chain. So now all I got to do is click on that peaceful sculpture and determine what I want to sell it for. We're going to go with the 25 and we'll hit submit. Of course, we're going to get the MetaMask delay. So for the interest of time, I'm going to cancel that and cancel this. But essentially, that's all you do in order to get the item ready to sell, right? I just took you from foraging, go to your forage tab. Go to craft. If you've already crafted the item, it's going to already be in your equippables minting section. If you didn't, you're going to need to craft the item. So you want to craft it like you want to craft anomaly, which is dark matter, turning a blank tile into dark matter. Craft it. Once you craft it, then you're going to go up here to the mint section and hit mint. And this will then be available in the off-chain items. And then once you want to take those off-chain items, excuse me, it will be over in the NFT items, sorry. I was right. It'll be over here. So again, so I've got a liquidium. I could take that liquidium, drop it over here. It's going to be 12 eggs and 250 worms to mint it so I can move it on chain. If I want to skip the cooldown, I'll hit skip cooldown. Now I don't have to wait 5 hours for it to actually make its way over there. And if I go back to my wallet under my items, and I go back and look at, I've got a watering hole liquidium, because remember, watering hole turns a blank tile into liquidium tile, okay? That's what watering hole does. So if you don't have liquidium, you can go in the marketplace, you can find it. You can get that liquidium tile. This is peaceful sculpture. This turns a blank tile into a mana tile with a 2% bonus, okay? So this is a peaceful sculpture. So if you need mana, you can go on the marketplace and you can get it, okay? Now, why is that important? Why is this important? Because as we know, our farmlands don't always come with all of the resources that are necessary in order to craft all the blueprints we may get. So that's why it's important that we have foraging and crafting, because this allows us to take some of these green grass tiles. See this green tile, these empty tiles. This allows us to take those tiles and to convert those tiles into those particular resources, right? That's the great thing about it. So a green grass tile we all thought was utterly useless, and the devs pulled a trick on us. The trick was crafting and foraging, because now that green tile is not useless. So I can take some of this green space and I can make that mech, liquidium, whatever the case may be. Now, if you look over here at this particular farmland, for example, this farmland that I'm foraging on has 6 veg, 4 gold, 4 lumber, 1 liquidium, 3 stone, 4 mech, and 2 liquidium. But if you look at this farmland, you can see it really doesn't have 4 golds. In fact, there's no gold found on this farm. There's no gold. But what I did is I took my 4 placer deposits, and now I have gold. Okay, so now I have gold. So they're foraging. They're out there foraging for gold. I have 4 gold tiles. All right, so I took some of those grass tiles that I had, and I equipped them with gold. I equipped them with a couple of things. So if you go down here, you can look and you can actually manage your equips, the things that you're going to add to your farmland, particular farmland. As you can see here, farmland 2686. So it's got 4 gold that I've equipped it with, 2 lumber, and 2 mech. So I need to bump up my my gold and my mech production and my lumber production on this farmland. So I took a couple of those that I crafted, like a snowball, like a cookie, or even a meatball. I crafted those and I minted those, and then I equipped them to my farmland. So this farmland has now got 4 golds, 4 lumber, 4 mech, which it didn't initially have. Same thing with this particular one. Again, this is all what this closing of the loop is about, is the creation of NFTs that can be utilized to make our farmlands more efficient. The farmland is the tool. It is the device that is the future of the integration, if you will, of Chikn to the rest of the world, Chikn to the rest of the NFT world. And so farmland's important, very important. So this one here, you can see I have 1 of Axiom. But as you notice, I have 3 of Axiom over here. Same thing. Why is that? Because I have all this green space. And so what I did is I took a couple of those of Axiom seams, and you can see I equipped it to this farmland. So now, instead of having just 1 of Axiom tile, I have 3 of Axiom tiles because I'm using them in this green space, right? I get 1,000 uses out of this, so 1,000 forages. And so the next step, this is equips, right? How you can equip to your farmland, or you can do the same thing to your chicken and to your rooster to make them more effective and more efficient. You can come back over to craft. You can look at the sips. So the next step is, let's just say I wanted to find something that was going to give me the ability to get even more of Vaxium out of my farmland. So I can do a sip, and this sip is acid rain. Increase the chances of a Vaxium, tungsten, and gold by 2%, but decreases the chances of veg and lumber by 5%. So I could do this equipable and equip it to my farmland to boost my Vaxium production even more. I can do the same thing. I can find a sip, and I shouldn't say equip, I meant a sip. I can find a sip for my birds, because that's what this one is, right? This one's farmland. This one's for the birds. And I can go find one of these sips that's going to give me more of Vaxium production, right? Red chips allows chicken and rooster to forage every Vaxium tile twice, but increases the forage time by 1 hour. I don't care about that. I just need the production. I need more of Vaxium, right? So I can craft that sip. And then once I've crafted the sip, I can go over back to my forage tab where it shows my farmland. I can go to this, find the specific farmland that's in question that I want to apply the SIP towards, or the bird, right? So if I wanted to do that SIP towards the farmland, I'd go find that farmland, go down here, and I'd add some SIPs. I can add 3 farmland SIPs. Now I haven't crafted any SIPs, so I can't add anything to that farmland. But this is how I would do it, right? You craft the SIP, you then go to your farmland, and then you can hit that button down there, and then you can apply it. Word to the wise, equippables, SIPs, even these upgrades over here, even these upgrade tabs where you can upgrade with fertilization with FERT to make it more efficient as well. Even these, you have to apply these before you send them out to forage. So if they're out foraging right now and you do it, it's not going to take hold and apply until they come back and go back out again. So if you've got some SIPs that you want to apply to your birds, once they come back from foraging, before you do that, before you send them back out, apply the SIPs, equip them with the equips to the farmland, and so on and so forth, then send them back out to forage again, okay? Because it won't take effect until the next forage. So do all that stuff in between when they're on their lunch break, right? But same thing. So this is how you apply the SIPs. Same thing you craft as far as the birds are concerned. You're going to craft a SIP for your bird, and once you craft it, it'll show up in your inventory, and then you'll be able to apply that to that particular bird as far as the SIPs are concerned. So I just wanted to kind of show you guys a little bit about closing of the loop and how simple it is to start selling your NFTs on the marketplace and start creating more playing to own, if you will, creating more value out of the NFT assets that you own. And that's what it's all about, right? So we're all out here with great NFTs, with great value. And these NFTs through the bear market have been bearing some really good fruit, especially if you've been compounding back into the ecosystem, continuing to play the game as the game is rolled out. You're in a pretty good shape. And that's really all you have to do. That's really all I have to do, is I just need to keep playing the game as the developers roll the game out. And now the game is closing the loop, crafting, minting NFTs, selling them on the marketplace, taking that AVAX and figuring out what you want to do. You might want to take that AVAX and you might want to put some of that in your LP farm and continue up your LP farm. And why is LP farm important? Why is worm farm important? The reason why is it all works together, right? The more LP I have in my worm farm, in my farmland rather, the better it's going to help me forage. The deeper I dig in my worm farm, the better it's going to help me forage. So this ecosystem all works together. It's all working together, in essence, to benefit the goal, right? Which is foraging, which is crafting, which is minting, play to own, right? P to O, P2O, play to own. But look at this. I'll give you a perfect example, right? So if we look at this particular farmland, all right, and this is probably a little hard to see. Let me see if I can blow it up a little bit for you. Okay. So if you look at this particular tile, tungsten, on this farmland, I get a base percentage of 35%. What does that mean? That means that my birds have a 35% chance each time they go out and forage to come back with some tungsten. Okay, so that's all it means. I have a 35% chance that my birds are going to come back with something. Fertilized resource. So this is where I would add my FERT, squirt the FERT, in order to boost it. And now, instead of 35%, I got a 45% chance that they're going to come back with some tungsten. The combined tile rarity, so it's looking at the rarity of the tile, 2.5%. Items, if there's any items that I've got attached to that. And then there's LP farm fertility bonus. So here's the LP farm fertility bonus. So by having some LP, I get a little bit of a bonus that goes towards my overall foraging effectiveness on that particular tile. So I've got a 48% chance, right? Now, where does the LP farm fertility bonus come from? The 0.5%. It comes from what I have in my LP. What I have in my LP, which is why it's important, because LP is pushing out worms, which I need worms for my worm farm. I need worms to craft and forage. So it is very important that I do have LP. Aside from the fact that I'm getting the emissions of worm and X flesh and whatever else that they decide to run on LP farming, it is helping me become more effective and efficient at foraging. As you can see, this particular one, which has the majority of my LP, I have a 2.5% fertility, right? So if we go over and we look at, I don't think I have any of these that I'm upgrading right now, but let's just look at, let's look at MEC. So MEC base percentage is 40%. Fertilized bonus percentage, I upgraded that joker by 10% by adding, I think it was like 2,000. So 40 is now 50, right? And then we've got the combined tile rarity, which is 3%, right? And if you click on that, it'll show you, based on the number of tiles you have of that variety, it gives you the breakdown of how you get that 3%, right? Sorry, let me go back to MEC again. Make that bigger. Okay, items, and then you've got the LP farm fertility bonus. So I get an extra 2.5% because I have a lot of LP. A lot is relative, but because I have LP, I'm getting a 2.5% bonus on all of these, right? So MEC, which started at a 40% chance, now I have a 55.5% chance. So all of this works in together, right? That's the LP farm impact. What is the worm farm impact? Well, remember, when I am digging in my worm farm, so let's go to worm farm. When I'm digging in my worm farm, I'm going to find blueprints. I might find love monsters. I might find other NFTs. I might find treasures. I might find, who knows what the sneaky devs will drop into that worm farm. But when I'm digging in that worm farm, and if we go to the same farm, which I think this is the same farm right here, you can see the last box that you've dug in the worm farm will tell you how much time you are foraging now on that farmland, right? The base time. Bigger chickens and roosters probably won't take as long, but we're looking at 2030 to 2130, about 20 hours, 20 and a half hours, 21 hours, something like that is how long it's going to take them to forage. And that's just based on me going 2 levels into my farmland. As I dig further into my farmland, that time goes down. My foraging time goes down, and then I'm able to get more efficient. So it all works together. Farmland, worm farm, it all works together to help your foraging become more efficient. The idea is to get more resources so that you can craft more items. Once you craft those items, you can equip those items or SIPs to your actual farmland to make it more efficient, or you can turn around and sell those on the marketplace, as you can see right now. Hey, you can make some AVAX. You know what? Somebody's going to sell a log cabin for 2.5 AVAX. Well, AVAX is $22.20 right now, folks. I don't know if you know that or not. So essentially, my farmland is pooping out AVAX right now. My farmland is pumping out AVAX. I guess the poop is the FERT, right? But the farmland is pumping out AVAX in addition to many other things. My farmland is pumping out X flesh as well as worm, right? And you can see, I just showed you worm to forage, you need worm to mint, you need worm to skip, you need worm, you get the point. Worm is very important. So by having worm come out of my farmland, I get worm every day. I can use that worm. I get X flesh. This is all the benefits of owning LP, owning a farmland. So anyway, I think I have rambled on quite enough. I'm excited. I wanted to share it with you. I wanted to take a few minutes this morning around a cup of coffee. So cheers if you haven't had your cup of coffee yet. So sip for you. Man, that's some good coffee. And I wanted to share with you closing of the loop. This is fun. This is kind of what I've been waiting for. Everyone has certain milestones in the game that they're excited about. Cockfighting, the quest, Ignite, the partnerships, everyone has every milestone they're excited about. I was excited about foraging and crafting and NFTs. And so, what I'm doing now at this point, as you can probably see, if you go to my foraging section, I am continuing to build out my fourth. I have another full farm, but it's not in this wallet. I'm continuing to build out this farmland. This is my son's farmland. This is actually a good looking farmland. He's got tungsten. Tungsten was his first tile. His second tile was dark matter. Get out of here. He's rocking with veg. He's rocking with stone. He's already got 4 woods. He's got a mech, right? So he's got a good farmland. He's got a mana. He's got a good farmland brewing here, and he still has a couple of blank tiles that we can forage, craft, mint, and then equip, right? But he's already sitting on 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 resources, and he's got 17 tiles. So we're going to roll the dice, baby. We're going to see where we go. Maybe we can get an organic gold, an organic vaxium, or an organic liquidium. Or maybe we can get all 3. Maybe we can get a 10 out of 10 on one farmland. We'll see. Keep you posted on that. But I'm excited. This is fun. And so my son is actually foraging on another farmland as well. And while I'm building this one out, and I'm building because I have the production and stuff like that to just further compound back into it. Otherwise, I would just be sending him AVAX and stuff like that. So I just said, give me the farmland, I'll build it out, and I'll send it back to you. In the interim, I'm foraging across all farmlands. So I'm foraging on this one, which is 24 tiles. I would say the gold and the mech are the focus and emphasis on that one. Of course, lumber and veg. And then we've got this infinite farmland. So that's now 48 birds and chickens running around. We've got a vaxium, veg, 4 lumber, 4 stone, a good supply of mana and liquidium. And then we've got the kiddos, G4Os, farmland, a 10 out of 10 potentially in the making. And he's rocking with, of course, you already saw better. He's got 4 lumber, a mech, some stone. So we will most likely equip this with some more mech, with some more tungsten. I have to wait until these guys come back in, because what I have waiting in the wings to equip to this already 1 tile of tungsten is some more, right? To do that, I'm just going to drag this sucker over here. Drag it over here. Drag it over here. But anyway, that's how you do it. Basically, just drag it over to this section. Tungsten. So there's 2 tungstens waiting, and there's some more lumber waiting to go onto that one. So once they come back, I will work on equipping. Can't do it now because they're out foraging, but I will take these 4, put them over here, hit equip, and then they will be appended to that farmland. And then I will send out them to reforage, not before. First equip, then send them out to forage, right? But then he'll have 3 tungsten. He'll have 6 lumber. And I'm working on a couple more mech. So, and some more tungsten. So we're going to make this one a high power farmland. And when the gold, vaxium, and liquidium tiles turn over, bam, we'll be at 10 plus. Go higher, baby. Go higher, baby. 10 plus. So anyway, I'm done, guys. I'm going to shut up, get to my day, let you get to your day. It's all about chicken, man. Chicken is life. So glad I found this project. Pretty cool project. Fun. addicting. It's an instant means to compound because it's addicting. But it's fun. It's engaging, and man, the developers continually come up with new ways to keep you engaged in the game and to make it interesting. And now it's play to own, which means we're playing to create things that we own that we can then turn around and sell. And again, if you go to the marketplace and you look up the items, these are items that you're able to, if you have the blueprint. If you don't have the blueprint, there is a blueprint also in market. You can go buy the blueprint, and then you can start crafting your own items, and then you can sell them. So you have the opportunity as well. So check it out. If you're not foraging yet, if you've been just feeding your chicken, getting them big, producing those eggs, you're going to need eggs. You're going to need fur. You're going to need worms. So no problem. But now's the time to start foraging because the devs, even in the last meeting, Marco said everything's going through foraging. So if you're interested and you're psyched about cockfighting, you're going to need to develop some weapons, some tools for that cockfight. And where do you think it's going to come from? It's going to come from foraging. It's going to come from crafting. It's going to come from minting. So catch up, stay up, or just get up. Either way, there's never a bad time to enter chicken. So I say that in jest. You're not behind. You're right on time. Whenever you find chicken, you're right on time. So anyway, this is a video that was on crafting, foraging, and on minting and putting them on the marketplace, closing the loop, and pretty darn excited about it. This is just the beginning, though. Pretty darn excited. Okay, guys, let me know if you got any questions, comments. I appreciate everyone. Have a good one. Thank you.